Okay. So after speaking about suffering as the great addiction, now I will give you another perspective on suffering, which is the great releaser. As you still entertain worldly goals, nothing is in there is trustworthy. You see, these days with modern technology, there's a lot of guiding systems available. And no matter how good and sophisticated is the guiding system, it can only guide where you want to go. It doesn't tell you where to go, but it helps you to go where you want to go. So your motivations come first. So if you're having worldly goals, if you still want something out of this world, the guidings that you will get will be more or less tuned to this. And this will mark your path of clarification. And that's where suffering plays a great part. So even your heart will impel you. And I'm speaking even your heart because these days, spiritually speaking, seekers say, oh my heart, and I feel this, and I feel this, so this must be right. It will be when you're out of worldly motivations. Motivations mark the beginning. Mark it all. If motivations are worldly, guidances will come accordingly. Where you want to go, those guiding systems, those perceptions will lead you down that path. It has to be, or else it would be too intense. So if you want to bypass that because it is possible, you have to see the mechanics of what you call reality. You have to understand it so that you can move through it. And this is why guidance is fundamental. Like I said before, guidance comes as something apart. Because the body-mind complex, whatever that means, follows the script of illusion, of suffering. But this suffering, eventually, it will become clear. You have your ideas of happiness, and you're betting everything, even your life. But most important, your only precious gift here, which is time. It is an illusion, yes, of course, but we are talking about illusion. Truth has nothing to be said about. You see? It's nothing new to get. It's nothing that you have to conquer. Just let go of illusion. See how you are grabbing yourself. See. Then you will learn how to let go. So you're having these images of happiness in which you are betting everything. They are causing you tremendous suffering to get there. And this is good because this is what you really need. But this was the previous subject. But eventually, as time passes, as suffering is experienced, you will start scratching your head. Wait a minute. This image is here and it promises happiness, but I never get there. What is happening? And from the most superficial quest to the most hardened quest, this principle will apply. You see, suffering is considered the great enemy, a punishment. But it isn't. It's actually a blessing. For the majority of seekers, it is the only blessing possible to receive. They are so filled with themselves, so proud. But even so, they are not forgotten. And they have where to go through. Suffering prepares the arrogant, prepares the weak, it strengthens the weak, softens the arrogant. No one is forgotten. Behind these images of happiness lie beliefs about happiness. And these beliefs, you put everything to them, all the importance, without questioning where have they come from, what is their real value. Look around. Everybody is apparently looking for happiness in what you can see. And they are doing it in different ways because they have different images of happiness. But you are all looking for happiness. So it's kind of a game to see who finds it. Clues, experiences are clues. Who can understand better the clues? And life suffering is giving you a feedback. I don't have what you're looking for. Oh, this was happiness. Then suffering, or there was some kind of happiness. It is good, but it's not what I'm looking for. It doesn't satisfy. There's no peace into it, at least not lasting. So it is clarifying that these ideas, they don't have any value apart from the value that you are giving to them. So this suffering is releasing you. For the distracted one, holds a grip, keeps him deluded. For the one that's trying to pay attention, it is clarifying. Suffering is taken, like I said previously, as a punishment, but in fact is a blessing. These beliefs are so ingrained that only suffering, as it gets the needed intensity, it will break them all and show them for what they are. You may believe that this is happiness, but suffering is there, and you think you're doing something wrong, that you have to improve, that all of this. But eventually you will understand. Suffering is telling me this is nothing of what I expected. There's nothing wrong with me, nothing wrong with others, nothing wrong with circumstances. They can be quite good also, but they don't have what I'm looking for. And I'm looking for myself, who I really am. Greatness. So now, with these therapies, this compassion, these terms, you see, the compassion, the helping others, it has, in a way, nothing to do with others. If compassion brings something, it's not in the attitude itself. The one who experiences compassion is getting an opportunity to touch the flow. Because if you're taking someone else's suffering, you see, life conditions that seem punishment or karmic things that I have to go through, it's not a burden, it's a help. Have you noticed how much this world has to turn around? How many things have to happen so that suffering can be experienced? For one hand, if you take it out of the other one, the person, this individual, will have to go after another suffering. But not the same amount of suffering. It has to increase because it won't have the same impact than previously. First, because he is addicted to it, yes, but also because he needs it, because he is learning from it. It is the blessing that it is possible in this moment to help break those beliefs. So it will have to go and get more suffering, more intense, because he was exposed to this level of suffering. Then he will have to be exposed to this amount to get the same impact. So, were you really helping? There is this idea, there's a lot of ideas. But to get to the state, to this altruistic level, it's not for anyone, for everybody. Just for a minority. And these ones, they have no interest in the world whatsoever. If you look deep down, you are there for your own personal needs. Have no doubts about this. Honesty is always refreshing. And it helps you move faster from wherever you're standing. No matter how stubborn you are, how difficult it is for you to learn, you will learn. Eventually you will learn. Suffering will get to the needed intensity to break all beliefs, all of them. It may take time, but it will do the job. Eventually in the middle, if you start to understand certain things, well, if you're on the spiritual journey, you have already come in touch with different teachings that says that happiness doesn't come from these worldly things. And you see a lot of things that teachings and precepts that distant you from normal investments. And this distance, if it is practiced, helps you to get a more clear vision. It may take a while, but eventually it will. And as you get a more clear vision, then suffering will not be needed like this, in this way. You will uproot the roots which are here at the core of this apparent individual, that which sustains individuality, that which sustains and how do you say this, makes sure that it has food, you see, which is the investments of human life. So that which is biting you in the beginning, it will also release you as you mature. And the more you fear suffering, the more you will plunge into it eventually. Do you really think that there's this idea of healing the world and solving the problems, but are you really sure that you really know what that problem is? You see, suffering may be wrong if you have the vision of the world that the purpose of life is to be happy in the world, in a worldly life, in worldly circumstances, or in whatever circumstances. So, if you have this idea, well, you have a certain amount of time, you have to hurry up, and you have suffering biting you in the butt. And suffering is a problem for the majority of you. Happiness is the absence of suffering, and it has nothing to do with that. Glory is not the absence of misery. But if you understand that the purpose of life, and not going too much questions, if you want to ask them, feel free to ask, send. If it is honest, sincere, I will answer. If you understand that the purpose of life is to know who you are, then you will not see suffering as an obstacle. It is an obstacle for your worldly goals, your worldly understanding. And it's like all other sufferings. You put your hand on top of a hot pan, it gets burned, and this pain makes you remove the hand. And why doesn't this work with these images? With these beliefs attached to these images? It will work, but it takes longer. If you remove it, if you would remove suffering, then you would be distracted. You see, in certain ages, whatever that means also, experiences are quite different from these ones. Most of you have heard about yugas, for example, cyclic ages. I don't want to go into this, because this is part of the illusion, but okay, this is what we're talking about. And if you have read something about this, you will see that human life differs a lot in the quality of the experiences. And these times, which are more hard, more intense, with more suffering, for the worldly seeker, they are bad. For the seeker of truth, they are good, because they give tremendous opportunities to clarify and put aside a lot of things that don't have any importance. And without this suffering present, you wouldn't be aware of this. It pushes you towards the quest for truth. First, it is the quest for love and affection and acceptance and a place and environment where everybody is happy, because you're full of wounds, full of sadnesses. You need the lap. You need a place where you can go and feel safe, feel good. But you will eventually grow up from this. Eventually you'll become a lion. Eventually you'll become a seeker of truth. And then suffering becomes a master, a teacher. It has always been, but you cannot take it this way. And this is the next video. It's an extended subject. So before you're going out and trying to take suffering of others, make sure that you're really taking and not giving more, because this is what happens really. For the seekers of well-being, worldly seekers, saying, it's okay, it's fine like this. They are a part of that world. They are experiencing, collecting their suffering for the good and for the bad, whatever that means, to keep them more in prison and to mature towards a path of freedom, of liberation. So they are receiving suffering, creating suffering. It is fine. For the seeker of truth, it is different. You see, if someone really wants to get out from suffering, to grow up from it, it will find the means. There's no need to persuade. It doesn't matter how much you explain to an addicted one the evils of the addiction. It will not let it go. Only when it really, 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 without the shadow of doubt that he wants to get out from it. Then he will look for the means with the correct attitude, and he will succeed. Suffering is not a tragedy. Most of you will be shocked with this, with what I'm saying, and probably will be wondering or asking, what about the suffering of the world? Blah, 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 blah. Let the world take care of itself. For the seekers of truth, watch, before this suffering and this world that you are seeing, in a way, it's like everybody is after in their own piece of heaven, hell. It's like an ocean full of sharks. So, the seeker of truth is the one who gets out of the water. And people usually say, isn't that selfish? Don't you care about the world? If you take one shark out of the ocean, won't the ocean become a better place? More safe one? Definitely. But if you're a seeker of truth, and in your heart there is this need to help the world, understand this. Be part of the solution. But for you, the world has to be meaningless. Your quest has to be authentic. By not being a part, 1,000 times more help to that world. At one level, it may need some help. At the highest, everything is fine. What you have to know is, are you a part of not or not? Even this is a limited understanding, but is important now. So don't fight your suffering. Learn from it. See what he is showing you. You're experiencing again and again in different circumstances, sometimes the same, because you haven't understood yet what he is telling you. Don't bother complaining, whining, and all of this. Learn. Learn. Bring your mind to steadiness. Learn. And you'll grow up.